Onward we must go. Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Rin's Knittery Podcast Corner. My name is Lauren, the host of Rin's Knittery on Instagram, on Facebook, on Ravelry, and on Etsy. Pretty much anywhere you can want to find me. But today I'm here to talk about all the things that I've been making, all my plans for making, and just a couple of bibbles, babbles, and dabbles about my life. So this week is actually a really chill week. I haven't had too much making going on. I've had a lot of plans for making, which I'll talk about later in the video. And then I have a big life update. But I'm not sure if I want to tell you guys about that or if I want it to be a surprise next week. We'll just see. So needless to say, this will most likely be a very short episode if I stop talking, which doesn't happen much. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. For finished objects this week, I do not have the object in front of me because I gave it away today as a gift. And if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen this item. It was a baby romper. It was the 3-month-old size, and I used the pattern Lacy Romper by Pippi Eve. And it was a paid pattern on Ravelry. The pattern worked up very easily. I followed all the directions to a T, and I just used some, I believe it was DK weight yarn that she called for, or that designer called for, and I had some in my stash, and it was a very pretty gray. It worked up very beautifully. Apparently it's a season for babies. I know about 3 or 4 people who are having babies. And so it makes for the perfect baby shower gift because it only took me about 8 hours to work up. So it was pretty mindless after a certain point. It was so much fun and it was so cute. The only thing that I had trouble with was sewing buttons on, but I can't sew buttons because I suck at buttons apparently. But it was such a fun pattern to work up, and it was so cute to like make it and be thinking of the baby that will be in it in just like a couple of months, and it just made me so happy. So I made the 3-month-old size for this romper. I have cast on another one, and it's for another baby, but I'm making that in the 6-month size. So, but that is that. I highly recommend this pattern. It was very easy to read. The layout's very nice. The pictures are very clear, and the lace panel, if you can call it that, the special design down the front middle of the romper is so much fun, and it is actually very easy to memorize it. I enjoyed like memorizing those things when I'm working a pattern, and after about the 2nd or 3rd time I had it, and it was really simple to work it up. And with this pattern you get a chevron, and then you get like little diamonds, so it's like a 2 for 1. It's a great pattern. I digress. But unfortunately, that was the only finished object that I got to this week. Because life. But onward we must go. For my first WIP or works in progress that I want to share with you guys today is my Hermione sock. I've actually gotten pretty far on it in the matter of a week. I don't know if you can see that. Not sure if my camera will focus. I'm figuring out camera stuff. But I have gotten down to the heel flap and I'm almost done with it, and I'll be turning it. I'll be doing something. I'll be doing the next step out of like 4 that are to create a heel. But I put it around my ankle or around my leg to kind of see like where it hit. The sock fits so cozy, and I'm so glad that I decided to go 1 needle size up and decrease the total stitch count by 4, which is the stitch count repeat in the pattern. So it is just like, I don't know what it worked out to, but I'm really enjoying it. Maybe next week I'll have a whole finished sock for you. Probably not, because I have lots of other things to be working on. But it is a free pattern on Ravelry. A lot of people have knit the sock. It's a lot of fun. It's a very easy pattern. for a free sock pattern, I would recommend it to somebody who is starting out on socks. Because it's great and it doesn't just look like a plain boring sock. And I am all about the cute socks to wear. Plus, lately the weather's been kind of cooler, and so I'm like, I need to get more socks off my needles. Or cast them on and then get them off. But anyways, this sock is so much fun. The next whip that I am wanting to talk about is the husband sweater. So it is the pattern The Rower by Drops Design. It is another free pattern on Ravelry, and it is a very complicated pattern. I'm not sure. I think I've made like an inch or two of progress since you have last seen this. I've been busy with a lot of other stuff, and so the only thing is I want to get it to him before Thanksgiving. So this is a marathon and not a sprinting project like I was treating it. But it's very calming. We just sit down in the evenings and we are watching Doctor Who from the 11th Doctor on, because I'm a big Doctor Who fan. Sam's not really into it, and so I figured that would be the one to capture his attention. So I cast it on at the beginning of the 11th Doctor, and we have just finished the Pandorica episode. So now we're on the Christmas Carol episode, which is like the Christmas special. But that's how much progress I've gotten done while watching it. Oh, and The Good Place. I guess we watched a little, like the last season of The Good Place while I was knitting this. But yes, it's a very, once you get the hang of it, the pattern's simple-ish. I thought I would be confident going into it, but I felt like I was kind of like barely keeping my head above water, if that makes sense, until I was like, oh, okay, you've got this. Okay. And like I said in the previous video, the Drops Design patterns, they are very complexly written. I do not recommend them for beginners unless it's a very simple pattern, possibly, or you just feel like you're a beginner who can take all the time in the world. I do suggest printing out these patterns. Makes it a whole lot easier, and usually I keep patterns on my phone, on my iPad, on my computer, and I just carry it around that way. But for this one, I had to print out the pattern and carry it with me. So, and I need to get a project bag or make a project bag, because it's just staying in a torn up Michael's bag. Yeah, has some couple tears here and there, so I need to get a project bag for it. But this is the husband sweater. He's loving how it came out. The other day he was wearing his hat while I was knitting it, like so the hat that I had made him in matching yarn about a year previous, and he's very excited about this sweater, so maybe that's why he married me. I don't know. Okay, so that is it for works in progress. I honestly have not made too much progress because all of my time has been devoted on what I am currently designing. So for this segment, what I am currently designing or making plans, I have been working on a shawl pattern in collaboration with A Busy Life yarn shop. And if you haven't checked out the yarn shop, I talked about it a lot last week, but oh my gosh, the colors are beautiful. I got the yarn yesterday and I opened it up and I was floored. All I could talk about at dinner to Sam was, oh my gosh, and you remember that one? Oh my gosh, that one's so pretty. And oh my gosh, and I posted a story on my, or I posted a video of it on my stories on Instagram, and I opened it up and literally the first thing that came out of my mouth was, it reminds me of truffles, but like jam and mustard truffles, because that's what the colors look like. And I'm saying that with the highest compliment because, oh my gosh, the colors are beautiful. I will insert a video that I took just for you guys and you can enjoy that. But I love these colors so much and it just makes me so happy. And so I have cast on the first color and I am currently working on the shawl. But the first color I decided to cast on for the fade was Forest. I'm still being updated on all the names. for them, but I took several pictures to know what I'm fading. I have posted, it's probably done by now by the time this podcast comes out, but I posted a poll to figure out which fade would look better because I was just unsure about one placement of a color that is like a periwinkle, and I want it to give the right pizzazz, and since periwinkle is one of my favorite colors. But the first color I cast on was Forest, and it is, oh my gosh, it is this drop dead gorgeous color. Oh my god. I love it so much. And so this is such a fun pattern to work up, especially since I have an idea of what I want to do, but since a shawl takes so much, usually when I'm designing shawls, and I've only done one before, I'm taking notes of every little thing that I am doing, and that turns out to be the pattern. And since I need to get this pattern out by the end of August, I unfortunately will not be taking testers for this one. But with the purchase of the mini skein set at A Busy Life, yarnshop.com or abusylife.com, the yarn shop, you will get a free copy of my pattern with your purchase, and you can print that out, or it might be coming printed out when you receive your yarn. Either way, that's all that matters. And oh my gosh. And so I'm still up in the air about the names for this shawl. I've thought about the Afternoon Adventure, the Road Trip Adventure, the Road Trip Shawl, the Adventure Shawl. I don't know what to name it. I really like the Road Trip Adventure, but that just sounds like a lot. The Afternoon Adventure sounds kind of more like daydreamy, but this color is probably blending in with my dress. But oh my gosh, it's just so delicious, and it's fun, and it's soft. And I think my favorite thing about her yarn is that the stitches don't all just kind of blend together, although they do, but you can see the stitches that you've put so much time into doing, and that's kind of my favorite thing. You can see that it is knit. And, you know, people will be like, oh, where'd you get that? And you're like, oh, I made it myself. So it doesn't look like it's felted. I guess that's the point I am trying to get at. But anyways, this is the pattern that I am currently designing and what I'm making right now. It's really my biggest whip. I need to get it done within 2 weeks, and it usually takes me like 3 months to get shawls done. So this is what I will be working on for the foreseeable future until the semester starts back up for me. But I am, oh my gosh, I'm head over heels with this yarn. It just makes me so dang happy. Like, so happy. And I can't wait to wear this because I do like my shawls to turn into schlankets. Beautiful, beautiful schlankets. Because my classes are always like really cold. The rooms are. So it just makes sense for me to basically be wearing a blanket anyways. So why wouldn't I make myself a very cozy, very pretty blanket? I've also never faded a project in my life. And now I'm designing a project that includes fading, and I'm like freaking out just a little bit. Like, I get the concept and how you're supposed to do it. I just have never done it. So my first time fading is the first time I'm writing a fading pattern design. But I think it'll all work out. I only have a little bit of this ball left, so it will be faded pretty soon. That is what I am working on, and I can't wait. Can't wait to get it done. I'm so excited. Go check out abusylife.com.co. Yeah, this yarn. I think I sent her a message on Instagram today, and I said, oh my gosh, I love, 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 love this color so much. Like, that was the entire message because I could not convey how much I love the yarn. But anyways, let's keep moving on in life so I don't just like gush out more glory about this yarn that you've already heard so many million times from me. So for the Q&A section, segment. There we go. It's the Q&A segment. So every Wednesday I post, every Wednesday on my Instagram stories. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me there. Every Wednesday morning I post a question sticker on the story for this Q&A segment, and I had several people ask me questions this time, and it makes me very, very happy. So go ahead and follow me on there. Feel free to ask me questions to be answered in this segment, because this is kind of fun. So the first question is, what is your favorite show, movie, music, or audiobook to consume while you are knitting/making? And so this one is a lot, because when I am up here in my office and working on like a pattern or working on a sock or something, I love watching YouTube. And so some of my favorite YouTubers include the Last Week Tonight show. That is my favorite one. I love it so much because it's pretty good. The other one is Bernadette Banner. She has honestly taught me so much about YouTube and lighting and all of this kind of stuff that I'm interested in. Plus, her making of historical garments is just magnifique. Like, it's just amazing. I love it so much, and I'm like, I could never do that. I'm not a very good seamstress. So watching her do it, I'm just like, oh, I wish I could be you. And then my last one is VoolenVine. She kind of got me into all of this. She is amazing. I love watching her podcasts. I love what she makes. I love her whole aesthetic. I love her yarns. But so those are mostly the videos and people that I will watch on YouTube. So that is just the media that I will watch while I'm up in my office. I will also listen to podcasts. Well, there's really only one podcast I will love like listening to every single day, every single hour, and that's Why We Drink. And it's a murder and murder. It's a true crime and paranormal podcast, and it's kind of like a comedy show, but they don't make light of the horrific things that they're talking about. It's just a lot of fun. I just don't watch a lot of movies. I consume more TV shows. I already talked about it earlier, but it was Doctor Who. I'm really loving watching Doctor Who. I have all the seasons on DVD, Blu-ray, or whatever, but I have all of them from the 9th to the latest Doctor, and I love watching it in the evenings. We just watch like 2 or 3 episodes, and I just knit, and it makes me so happy because I don't have to watch them because I've watched them a lot. But it is so much fun to watch them, and to be like with Sam, who's experiencing it for the first time. The last show that I like to watch while I'm knitting is also kind of a new one, but it is The Good Place. Everybody's been raving about it for a while. Finally bit the bullet, and I watched it, and oh my gosh, we watched a season a night, and I knit. And so we were up until like 2 in the morning watching The Good Place, so I was up until 2 in the morning knitting. So that is it for the questions. Hopefully they didn't go on too long. I really hope they didn't. This is actually turning out to be a long video. Very sorry. Very sorry to myself too. But onward we will go to Dibbles, Dabbles, and Babbles, or however I tend to say it at that moment in time. So as I touched on it before, I have a really exciting weekend, and the reason why I haven't been able to get a lot of knitting done besides designing is because of what's happening this weekend. And we're not going anywhere per se, but we are doing something big. It's really big, and I'm really excited, and I'm bursting to tell you, but you will get to see next week. So come back for next week's podcast. Like, hold on to your chairs in anticipation. Next week is going to be so good. And the final thing that I'm really excited about is hopefully going for Friday night hikes with Reggie again. Sam had something he had to do at work, and so I loaded Reggie into my car, and Reggie's not a good car dog, and we went for a hike all by ourselves. I'm not going to say that I wasn't terrified to find a body. We did not find a body, but he was the coolest dog, and I got some really cute pictures of him. So I just have more pictures of my dog now, so that's all that matters. Hopefully we are going to try to go to a different place around here within 30 to 40 minutes around our house, and go find some other place to hike that's dog friendly, somewhere that Reggie will like, and just keep that a going tradition. So I wish I could tell you the weekend plans, but I can't. But that is everything. I think that is everything I have to share with you guys. Not much else to say besides go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, on my Facebook page, on Ravelry, and just keep knitting and keep enjoying all the creating and making that you are doing. I'm so excited to be able to share all of my creating adventures with everybody on here. If you liked this podcast, please hit the like button down below and hit subscribe if you would like to see new videos every week. I do have another video in the works with something knitting related. I don't know when I will be releasing that, but I think that is everything I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and bye guys!